Lackland Air Force Base in Texas is a huge military training installation. It's known as the gateway to the Air Force and hosts the 37th Training Wing, the largest in the U.S. Air Force. And tonight, Lackland is host to the military's biggest boxing competition, the Armed Forces Boxing Championship. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to TPC Sports coverage of the 2011 Armed Forces Boxing Championship. And a special hello to those watching on American Forces Network. I'm Van Stokes, here with renowned boxing historian Bert Sugar. And Bert, once again, it's great to have you with us.
I'm excited to be here. I'm probably more excited to be here with you than you with me, but this is a great event. And I'm happy to be invited because I am here to really, in my own way, cheer on the best of the best who are fighting for pride, fighting for their service, and fighting basically as a morale builder for those who are overseas, because this is what it's all about, the morale of the armed forces in sports, and that's where you and I come in.
Great competition for a great purpose. Well, tonight we'll take you ringside to Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. We've got all the action in 2 female exhibition bouts, plus a bronze medal bout in the 165-pound weight class. Let's get to the action in the first female exhibition bout in the 112-pound weight category. The Navy's Rhonda McGee of Vacaville, California, faces off against civilian Patricia Cueves of San Antonio, Texas. McGee is a master at arms, stationed at Naval Air Station on Whidbey Island, Washington. She's been boxing for 2 years, and now she talks about how she stays motivated and balanced in the sport.
Working with the team, it really helps motivate me. I spar with the guys. We spar at least 3 times a week. You know, it's pretty intense. I'm tall, I have a long reach for my jab, so if I keep jabbing, I think I'll do well. If you don't have team camaraderie, then, you know, you don't have anything. You really have to motivate yourself in boxing, but it's important to have great staff, great coaching, great teammates. If you work well together, you know, you'll fight well together, and I hope we do well in this tournament here.
McGee's opponent is civilian Patricia Cueves, who has 3 years of experience in the ring. Let's get to the action and turn it over to ring announcer Castle Chalice as this exhibition bout gets underway.
Boxer about to enter the ring is boxing out of the blue corner. She is a student at Roosevelt High School here in San Antonio, Texas, weighing in at 113 pounds. Let's hear it for Patricia Cueves. And now, about to enter the ring, boxing out of the red corner. She is representing the United States Navy. She's a master at arms from Vacaville, California, now stationed at Naval Air Station Whidbey Island, weighing in at 110 pounds. Let's hear it for Rhonda McGee.
Let's take a look at the rules in amateur female boxing. With the women, the bouts are 4 rounds, 2 minutes apiece, unlike in the male competition, in which we have 3 rounds, each of 3 minutes duration. For all the bouts, the judges will be using a computerized scoring system. Blows are scored when the white portion of the glove strikes the front part of the body, the head, or from the torso up. 3 out of 5 judges must score a blow in a 1-second window in order for the point to be scored. And again, fouls result in cautions, warnings, or disqualification. The third man in the ring, the referee. He can stop the bout for an injury or a dominant lead, or any time that he believes that safety is a factor. So basically, Bert, the same rules in effect, with the exception
for the number of rounds.
With the exception of the rounds. 4 rounds, 2 minutes each.
And the rest of it abides just as if it was men's boxing. And as we heard from Rhonda McGee, she's going to jab. Well, the jab is the best punch, both for offense and defense, in either male or female. So if she puts it to good use and can do it, then she's got a good chance of winning this, as she's starting out with the right. Pushing her right hand a little bit there.
And McGee comes out, not tentative in the least, but somewhat aggressive with that jab in particular, Bert.
Yeah, the jab is good. The right hand is a little pushed. She's much taller than her civilian opponent, Cueves. But Cueves seems to throw a better right hand.
Rhonda McGee is 25 years old. Her opponent, Cueves, 19. So youth a factor here. But they've each been boxing 2 or 3 years.
I like the fact that McGee, in the black, is a master at arms, and she's going to have to be here to win. A master at arms. Again, as in any fight, the taller fighter, in this case on the right, McGee, wants to fight from the outside, and the smaller fighter, Cueves, in the pink, wants to get inside, and that's what you're watching.
Well, you talked about her being a master at arms. That's with the security forces in the Navy, and right now she's trying to fight a secure bout and keep up a good defense, Bert.
That's 2/3 of a pun, PU.
Keeps her distance as we dip under 20 seconds to go here. Round number 1, a 2-minute round. There'll be 4 of them in this bout. It's an exhibition bout, a non-championship bout. And it simply provides the experience for both these boxers as they continue to look ahead. Round 1 comes to a close. And an appreciative applause from the crowd.
No, it's less a novelty now than it was before $1 Million Baby, the movie, Clint Eastwood movie, which sort of brought women's boxing to the forefront then.
And a lot of people may not be used to seeing women's boxing, Bert, but it will be contested in the 2012 Olympics in London. So women boxers will be able to earn gold medals for the United States. 3 weight classes in 2012.
I like how also my sport, rugby, is in the 2012 Olympics, but not baseball and a couple others.
This girl doesn't have anything, but she's going to come out more aggressive, swinging wild. Don't get caught. Keep your head moving. Keep those long lines out. Okay? Don't jab. Get out of there.
There's the whistle. You hear that whistle in the background, and that signifies a matter of seconds left before the round will start. It's for the seconds to get out of the ring.
Yes, I mean, get the stool out, you get out, let the fighters come out in 10 seconds. Right now, McGee has a small lead that she's basically piled up with that left jab, as she said in her interview. And she's landing it.
That she is. But that was the guidance from the corner during the break, was it not?
Yes. Well, it's almost keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing very well, thank you. And that was a reverse 1-2, right first jab, which is abnormal. The normal procedures, jab as she's doing, and then right behind it. It's called a 1-2.
She tries to follow up as best she can. There she takes a couple shots.
That was Cueves' best shot of the night.
That it was. It tallied a point. So she trails now 8-1. Does Patricia Cueves.
You say Patricia, and I say Patricia.
And that is from?
You say potatoes, and I say potatoes, and you say tomatoes, and I say tomatoes. That's not how it goes, I know.
Something like that. But right now, what Rhonda McGee is saying is, I want to take control of this bout, as she pushes the score to 9-1.
And yet, Cuevas is all of a sudden getting in and setting her own momentum, as she finally is able to get inside that long jab. Nice left, nice right.
And a nice lesson, by the way, of how to neutralize the reach of Rhonda McGee when Patricia Cueves gets inside and lands those blows up close.
She has changed the momentum of this fight, Van.
That she has, even though she's behind on the scorecard by 6 scoring blows as the seconds tick away in round 2.
And remember, there are 4 rounds in this fight. So she still has a chance to close the gap.
Don't get caught standing there. Move your head. Keep throwing that jab. That jab is winning you the fight. Okay? Okay? Now listen, she's going to come out hard. Hard, hard, hard. Jab, bam, right cross. Every once in a while, go to the bottom. You can hear me, right? Okay, do as I say, and I'll get you through this thing. Okay?
That was a matter of focus.
Well, it also was to continually do what you're doing best, which is the jab.
But also the admonition not to just stand there.
Which she got caught doing.
And it cost her a couple of points, Bert, in the eyes of the judges.
Well, but it also allowed Cuevas, the smaller fighter, to get inside and set her own pace and momentum. So all of a sudden, forget the fact she's behind, she now has her own, if you will, rhythm to this fight.
Nice follow with the right by Rhonda McGee.
But McGee is not there. She goes with a jab. She's got to ride that jab home, because that's what is her. And look at Cuevas coming on with the left hook.
Cuevas continues to stalk McGee.
Falling further behind, but I still see the momentum in her favor.
One of the things that you look for, Bert, when we're doing a 20-point system and we're not recording scoring blows on a computer, is which boxer continually moves forward as opposed to which boxer continually moves backward.
Well, it's not so much that, Van. It's who imposes their will upon the other fighter. And Cuevas, forget the fact she's getting outscored on blows. It is her momentum right now.
It's pushing this fight, so to speak, even though she's on the backside of the judges' scorecard.
Look at that. She is landing the blows she wants to, regardless of what the judges see. And she looks fresher and less tired than does McGee.
She is picking up the pressure here now as we come down to the 22nd mark, remaining in round 3
of 4. McGee is exhausted. Look at her just back. That's not even a back pedaling. That's a back stumbling. Again.
She picks up another point, does Cuevas, as the round comes to an end.
Gotta keep your hands up.
She is so tired.
In her face.
Can she keep Cuevas away from her?
In this round. You understand me?
Now, Bert, there's a 6-point advantage right now for Rhonda McGee, but we've seen in these Armed Forces Championships that sometimes 6 points can be erased.
And I got to tell you, right now, I am favoring Cuevas, albeit the fact that she's behind. The momentum is hers. The whole fight has switched in terms of it, and she is imposing her will.
This is it, round 3. 5 blows behind. 12-7, the score on the judges' scorecard.
She's got 2 minutes.
Round 4.
She's got 2 minutes in which to catch up and win this fight.
Again, I'm used to saying a 3rd and final round. This is the 4th and final round. Again, women, 4 rounds.
You never could count anyway.
I had a tough time. I had an abacus.
Look at that. McGee is just stumbling backwards, tired. Cuevas is on the attack, albeit the judges are not counting her punches and are, in fact, counting those of McGee.
Oh, and there's a left to the head of McGee, and that elicits an 8 count.
Cuevas is nonstop.
She is nonstop, and Bert, these judges seated around the ring, 5 judges completely around the ring. Sometimes they're going to get the scoring blows, and sometimes they're not. 3 out of 5 have to agree within a 1-second window. Cuevas trying to pick up the action now, trails by 4, 40 seconds remaining. If she can connect, she can do some damage. But right now, McGee backpedaling. She's on her bicycle.
And she's getting hit, and she's losing her lead. There's only a 2-point difference with less than a half a minute.
Hands are dropping. She's backpedaling, 15 down. 15 seconds, 1 down. 10 seconds remaining. We're tied up.
It's been Cuevas for 2 rounds.
Can Cuevas land? Can she land one? There she goes. She lands one as the seconds tick away.
What did I tell you?
Bert, you were exactly right on that one. It's never over until it's over.
Thank you, Yogi.
Patricia Cueves realized that. Trailed by 5 to start the 4th and final round, and then picked up the tempo, pressed the gas, and made it happen.
And while I'm not a big fan of women's boxing, acknowledgedly, this was an exciting fight. Could she come from behind and win it? And guess what she did and did. This was an exciting fight, period, end of paragraph, male or female. And a comeback, and they're always exciting to see, Van. Particularly when the fighter needs X number of points, as seen by the judges, and was able, with almost no seconds to go, to acquit them.
They did a great job.
Well, it went the distance. They come to the center of the ring. Let's go to Castle for the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a winner this evening, and she is, out of the blue corner, Patricia Cueves.
Coming from behind, 5 points in that last round. That's a 2-minute round. And she had wound up with 1 more point than did McGee. And that was the winning story. And it's a story, come from behind, whether it's male or female, it's the same. That's what made that bout exciting.
And it's a good story, especially when you're the one to come out the victor. Well, up next, it's Army versus Marines in the next female exhibition. Plus, Navy takes on Air Force in the 165-pound men's consolation bout. We've got all the services duking it out in this show. Stick around for more Armed Forces Boxing Championship action. Welcome back. We dedicate our coverage to all those fighting the good fight downrange. Thanks for what you're doing. Time for our next female exhibition bout. Let's meet the competitors in the 132-pound weight class. The Army's Carrie Barry of Detroit, Michigan, is fighting Marine Melissa Parker of Brooklyn, New York. Specialist Carrie Barry is a petroleum specialist who's now stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado, as part of the Army's world-class athlete program. She won the 2010 exhibition bout, and a win here would secure a spot for her in the upcoming Olympic trials. Here she talks about her start in boxing and her coach's expectations.
You know what it is. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
I've been boxing over 10 years. I got into the sport after a knee injury and used it as part of rehab. And I've just been fortunate to be on the U.S. team and represent the Army and continue to do it day in and day out. My coaches are like family to me, truly, and they're amazing. I have the utmost respect for them. They know their athletes inside and out, and they do everything to bring out the best in us. I've won many in the past, U.S. championships, PAL championships, Golden Gloves championships, international. But as far as I'm concerned, the only one that matters is this next one.
Yeah.
we're boxers. We're not male boxers, we're not female boxers, we're just boxers. Held to the same standards day in and day out. It'll be a good bout, action-packed.
Barry's opponent is Marine Lance Corporal Melissa Parker, a generator operator out of Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. In 2009, Parker was both the Golden Gloves and U.S. Nationals champion. Here's her take on her style and skill in the ring.
Boxing and the Marine Corps have a lot in common because it goes hand in hand. You got to take it seriously. You got to be disciplined. You got to love what you're doing in order to be able to do it. You have to be mentally prepared because there are things you're going to deal with that sometimes it's rough, but you got to get through it. Once you're in the ring, you cannot hide anything. Everything's going to show. If you haven't been training, there's no way around it. You have to get in there and you have to fight, or you're gonna get beat up, and it's as simple as that. So you have to put your all into it, and in being a Marine, you have to get the job done. I think it's gonna be an interesting fight. I've always been at the top because I've strived so hard to be the best.
Barry has been boxing for 11 years and is ranked 3rd in the nation. Parker's got 8 years of experience with several titles under her belt. Let's get to the action and turn it back over to Castle as this exhibition bout is ready to get underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we have it. The 132-pound women's weight class representing the United States Army. She's making her way to the red corner. She is a petroleum specialist from Detroit, Michigan, now stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado. She is a 10-time national champion. Let's hear it for Carrie Barry.
She looks ready to go, Van.
And she comes in pumped up, doesn't she, Bert?
Look at that. She's even bobbing and weaving between the ropes.
The way I translate that, she's ready. Well, we're ready to meet her opponent.
And now, making her way to the blue corner, representing the United States Marine Corps. She is a generator operator from New York, New York. Now stationed in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. She is a 2009 U.S. National Champion, the 2009 National PAL Champion, and the 2009 Women's National Golden Gloves Champion. Let's hear it for Melissa Parker.
She's going to have a battle on her hands right here because she's facing Carrie Barry.
You got to love that name, Carrie Barry.
I mean, she has boxed in the World Championships, has Barry, multiple U.S. Nationals champion, currently ranked 3rd in the United States, whereas Melissa Parker, top ranked in 2009. She was the national champion in 05, 06, and again in 2009. So, Bert, what we're seeing is not only women's boxing, but women's boxing at arguably a very high level here in the United States.
You look at these resumes, these are more than some of the fighters on the male side in terms of their credentials.
And we've got a big Army crowd on hand from Fort Sam Houston. You can hear them in the background. You know they will be behind specialist Carrie Barry, one of their own. We're underway, round 1, 4-round bout. Each round 2 minutes in duration, and they come out slugging. Parker trying to jumpstart this, but Barry says, look, I've got my own ignition. A slugfest from the get-go.
If I were a defense lawyer in the legal court, I'd say the defense rests. They are just teeing off.
And very quickly, you see Carrie Barry taking a 1-point lead. But rest assured of this, there's a lot of blows still to be delivered in this particular bout.
And Parker's left-handed, but she's not using her jab. If there's something she could do better, it's to throw that jab, because Carrie Barry is right there in front of her and is waiting for her to throw that left hand so she can counter.
And you just hear the crowd get behind Carrie Barry.
Look at her counter punch, straight punches, and Parker would do better to throw the jab to set up some of this.
Bert, this is a slugfest. Relentless is Melissa Parker, even though she trails 4-2 on the judges' scorecards.
Well, Carrie Barry, and I love saying that name, is the better boxer. But it looks like Parker's the better slugger, but she's just winging punches, and it's leaving her open to counter punches by Carrie Barry. Again. Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
She does not back up, does Carrie Barry.
She stands her ground, letting Parker rush her, but also leaving herself open in 2 minutes, round one. And remember, 4 rounds, 2 minutes apiece, as opposed to the men's side, which is 3 rounds, 3 minutes apiece.
Arguably, that might have been the fastest 2 minutes we've had this entire competition in that round right there between these two boxers. Let's see what Coach Bashir Abdullah tells Carrie Barry.
We're going to be loud until you go back in. Don't try to box this round, okay?
You know what was interesting there? She's paying more attention to her instructions than I do most men.
Okay, put that pressure on her. Don't stay in front of her. When you get her in the rope or in the corner, don't stay in front of her. Get an angle so she won't be able to counter.
He's telling her to give angles. He's telling her to give angles because she's standing right in there getting hit.
And he doesn't think that she's going to be able to counter that if she does get in the angles easily.
Well, angles make problems, and particularly if you're left-handed. But if you stand in front of Carrie Barry, she's going to counter you every time.
I will tell you what I really appreciated from Carrie Barry is when she talked to us earlier. She said, you know, we're boxers. We're held to the same standard as any other boxer, whether we're male, whether we're female. This is boxing, and this is the way we approach it.
But look at her footwork there. And you see Parker is trying to cut off the ring, but not doing a good job. She's just following her. That's not cutting off her ring.
You know, credit Carrie Barry, she will not allow the ring to be cut off either.
She sets up shop, and at that point, counters whatever Parker's doing. That was a headbutt, but it was really a head guard butt.
They tie up, 1 step back, and they commence boxing again.
You get the impression Carrie Barry knows she's ahead and is not willing to go back to that meeting fire with fire approach just to protect her lead for the moment.
Well, it's the old case of trying to work a little bit smarter and not necessarily a little bit harder.
She just got hit by a good right hand. Sort of a right cross. And again, a left. She's got to come forward. She cannot give the ring away.
Parker pulls within 1, and there's a nice flurry by both boxers as Parker goes over against the ropes. Melissa Parker literally fighting her way off of the ropes, back to the center of the ring. Now trails by 2.
But you notice when Barry goes on the attack, she scores the points, not when she's dancing around. There you go to the body. She picks up points when she is on the attack.
Under 10 seconds to go in the second round here of this 4-rounder. And this has turned out to be a good one as round number 2 comes to a close.
A little bit better round that time for Melissa Parker, but still the lead belongs to Carrie Barry.
And you talked about the attentiveness, the focus of the boxer to the coach. Watch her focus on head coach Jesse Ravella right now.
When she gets you on the inside, you got to let your neck get out. Okay? You got to work with her. Okay? You got to finish strong.
She locked in on those eyes and took in every word he had to say.
And no less with Carrie Barry, who still has the lead, lost 1 point, but she gained a couple points towards the end of the round when she engaged Melissa Parker. Not dancing around, coming forward.
Okay? All right.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for round 3 of this 132-pound female bout. Plus, Navy takes on Air Force in the men's 165-pound bronze medal bout. Coming up. We're back with Soldier Carrie Barry versus Marine Melissa Parker as the 3rd round of this bout, 4 rounds, gets underway. And you talk about intensity and force. This one picks up where it left off at the end of each of the last 2 rounds.
You can see Carrie Barry just waiting to counter. She's letting Melissa Parker carry the play, but she's just waiting to counter her punches because, again, Parker is really using that jab only infrequently. There, she got a right hand in as Parker came in.
And picked up a point off of that right hand as well.
Again, just waiting for Parker to wind up with that left, and she crosses over with a right hand, which is how you beat a left-hander.
Carrie Barry is from Detroit, Michigan.
A Wolverine.
A Wolverine. She likes to hike. She actually graduated from Eastern Michigan University, Bert.
Which is in Ypsilanti, for those who don't know or didn't care.
And her style, self-described as tenacious in the ring. And you see a little bit right there of her tenaciousness.
Well, it's also her aggressiveness. You say tenaciousness, and I say Carrie Barry. Look at this. I mean, she is just able to counter everything Melissa Parker is doing because Melissa winds up.
Olympic-style boxing with the women, under 10 seconds to go in round number 3. Carrie Barry picks up an additional point.
That was on that right hand.
And round number 3 comes to a close. And the fans love it.
This is good action, but it's also technically a good fight because you see exactly how to beat someone that is trying to land that one punch by countering.
Need for her to come out and be aggressive the first part of this round. So tight defense, okay? But you're going to box mid-range and short range. No moving around. Mid-range and short range and continue to come out the box. Like Carrie, every time you got your defense coming out the box, her hands never go back. You can touch it anytime. Now you set that one up nice, you can do that more.
That's Army coach Bashir Abdullah. He was the Olympic coach. His guidance, Bert, is pretty sound.
Well, not only that, he's found a weakness in Melissa Parker. She doesn't bring her arms back after she throws a punch, leaving her open.
Standing there. You let your hands go so you won't be able to counter. All right, let's go. Bring the dog out.
This is point counterpoint. This is chess. This is boxing. This is Olympic-style boxing.
And Parker's corner knows that she's countering. And Barry's corner told her, do not go and dance around, stand on nothing, a collision.
That's a slip. Clean the gloves off. Wipe the dirt off.
That's a collision. I did a lot of those in my boxing days. That was all I ever did, was collision.
She picks herself up, gets right back into the fray, does Melissa Parker.
Nice counters. She's tight. Underneath, picking up another point, and countering again. This is less countering, just total aggression.
Barry puts her where she wants her, over against the ropes. See the uppercut. Oh, the head bounces back.
That's scored. You want to hold my arm? I still have one free. That's what that was.
And I'm going to swing at you with my free arm. Carrie Barry's been boxing 11 years, 8 years in the ring so far for Melissa Parker. And so what you're seeing, Bert, are 2 veteran women boxers.
Yeah, but look at the tight defense that Carrie Barry's doing. She's there. She's blocking the punches inside. That one she didn't. But she's able to block them and stand her ground. See that?
This is good boxing, period.
Well, it's exciting boxing. I might not put him in with Pacquiao or Mayweather tomorrow, but it's good boxing.
It is good boxing.
And exciting.
Particularly when you think that these boxers have the ability to move on to London in the 2012 Olympics. And this is a sport that continues to grow, not just in the United States, but throughout the Olympic community around the world. And they continue to go at it deep into round 4. This is scheduled for 4 rounds.
20 seconds left in the fight. And Barry is still putting on an exhibition here.
But look at Parker.
She's trying mightily, but she's still got tight defenses to go through. And 2 seconds to do it, and it's not going to be enough.
Against the rope, into the body, and this one comes to a close. Both boxers know that this has been a good one, and the crowd knows it as well.
They love it. They love it. And it was very good boxing by Lance Corporal Melissa Parker, but not good enough.
This is what it's about, Bert. That crowd appreciates the skill, and the crowd appreciates the heart, and we saw both of that in this particular bout. Let's go back to Castle for the official call.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a winner, and she is out of the red corner, Carrie Barry.
And pride for her branch of the service.
Ladies and gentlemen, to present the medals.
And the crowd behind Carrie Barry, the crowd, the Army partisans from Fort Sam Houston, show their appreciation.
And to take nothing away from Melissa Parker, who put on a great show. She just happened to be up against a smarter and more technically, I think, efficient.
Carrie, they say boxing's an individual sport, but it certainly seems like a team sport tonight, huh?
It's all about team right here. Some say it takes a village. For me, it takes an army.
She's got my vote, whatever she's
Carrie,
running
you said
for.
you started, you joined the Army because you found out that women were going to be allowed to enter the 2012 Olympics in London. And here you are, the first woman now to get the berth to box in the box-offs for the Olympic trials. What are your thoughts?
It's a dream come true. There's no other organization I'd want to represent, be a part of, and wear those colors for.
I don't know who number 1 and 2 are, but they better watch out because here she comes. Carolyn Barry, everyone!
Carrie Barry, a woman on a mission, Bert, and she said that this was going to be an action-packed bout. She called it right on.
What I liked best was in her speech with Castle, her interview, where she said this is for the Army. She's proud of being with the Army. This is what this is all about. Yes, it's an individual sport, but it's more.
I will tell you what, the Army is proud of her right now. Well, up next, the consolation bout in the 165-pound weight class. Who will take home the bronze medal, Navy or Air Force? Stick around to find out. Here it is, the consolation bout in the 165-pound weight class. The Navy's Antonel Cruz Padilla of Bayamon, Puerto Rico, takes on the Air Force's Gary Griffin of New York City in this bronze medal match. Sailor Antonel Padilla lost to Marine Demarius Russell in an earlier preliminary. Padilla was the 2010 152-pound silver medalist, and this year he went up a weight class to fight at 165 pounds. He has 3 years of boxing experience and tells us why he made the jump.
I'm a tall guy, but I consider a pressure fighter. I come on forward. I don't stop throwing punches. I don't back down for nobody. We take this seriously, regardless of the odds. Navy boxers is gonna give their all in the ring. So you can count on that. That's what we do. Main thing for me is representing the Navy If anybody out there can represent the Navy better than me, come out to the tryouts. But for now, you know, I'm considered the best in the Navy.
Padilla's opponent is Air Force Staff Sergeant Gary Griffin, who was defeated by the Army's Zacchaeus Hardrick in an earlier preliminary bout. Griffin is a physical training leader at Stewart Air National Guard Base in New York. He's been boxing for 7 years and loves the physicality of the sport.
I'm striving to have no style. I'm striving to just, you know, be able to do whatever I need to do. Whatever your weakness is, I want to be able to become that. I'm also a boxing instructor, so I'll work out with my students, do things like that. My eventual goal is, if I can, fight internationally or become a world amateur champion at this weight class. If you just can't deal with someone who punches hard, I can be that person as well. If I make it to the Olympics, then hey, that'd be great. If not, I'm still striving to be a world amateur champion at this weight class.
Griffin's got twice as much experience as Padilla. Plus, Padilla is relatively new to this weight class. Do you think the experience and the change in weight classes will have an impact?
The change in weight class more than the experience, and I'll tell you why. He claims he's a hard puncher. He comes forward. He does have power, but the power you have at a lighter weight division or classification sometimes doesn't carry up with you. Again, you're fighting a man who is bigger, so your punches have less effect. His punches from a bigger man have more effect. So that's a problem I see if, in fact, Padilla Cruz comes forward and just pell-mells. He's got to fight a very, very controlled fight.
Well, we'll see. Let's get to the action in this consolation bout. Once again, here's Castle.
Coming your way, representing the red corner, on behalf of the United States Navy, he is a hospital corpsman from Bayamon, Puerto Rico. Now stationed at Naval Health Clinic, Hawaii, he is the 2010 Armed Forces Silver Medalist. Let's hear it for Antonel Cruz Padilla.
Padilla takes the customary bows to the ringside judges, each on different sides of the ring, before getting his headgear properly secured.
And boxing out of the blue corner, representing your United States Air Force, he is a serviceman from the Bronx, New York, now stationed at Stewart Air National Guard. He is the 2007 San Antonio Golden Gloves champ. Let's hear it for Gary Lee Griffin, Jr.
He's already trash talking and there's nobody to trash talk to.
Bert, you talk about nonverbal messages. I would say that there was a big message right there. I'm quick, I'm fast, and I'm going to take you. That's the message I got as he came into the ring.
I like guys that talk to themselves. I do a lot of that. My problem is I answer me. He's going to have an answer for Cruz Padilla.
Probably some of the best conversations you've ever had have been with yourself.
Thank you. I've always liked the middleweights because they punch like heavyweights and they move like lightweights. So we're going to see a combination of the two. And this is going to be a fun fight. Already we've had Gary Griffin trash talking to himself. Let's see what he does with his fists.
Well, if he's as quick inside the ring as he appeared to be outside the ring, this could be a good one. Looks like he gives up a little bit of height here.
But he is fast. Look at him. You can see that. He doesn't look totally disciplined. He looks ad-lib, i.e. doing whatever he has to do.
Well, and that's what he talked about when we called up to him. He said, I really don't see myself as having a particular style as much as I do coming into a bout and seeing what style I need to use to be effective. That's called situational boxing.
Well, he's using his footwork, albeit he hasn't landed yet. He certainly is giving Cruz Padilla a little bit of trouble finding him. almost as if, hey, I'm over here. You talk about angles, he's giving triangulated angles.
Now, Cruz Padilla did come up a weight class, but he was a silver medalist a year ago at the lower weight class.
As opposed to the girls' match we saw, this is not exactly the same engagement. It's Padilla trying to track down Gary Griffin in the blue top and gloves.
And in the previous women's match that we just saw, the score had already been significantly higher than what we see right here, which
in
is
a shorter round.
In a shorter round, which is 1 point difference right now in favor of Cruz Padilla.
Hardly an overwhelming lead, albeit he just piled up another one. And Griffin is tying them up. I think he's going to counter him. There he goes. Nice right hand.
He's got to.
Oh, a good left.
Nice follow-up. Very nice follow-up. But then to stand there and simply cover and cover and cover and take a beating is not really boxing. The referee could step in and say, okay, let's box. Let's box, Blue. He landed one with the right there, picks up an additional point.
That was sort of a calling card. I leave this with you and I pick up a point and I'm out of here.
And I will be back. So says Gary Griffin.
And you see him trying to throw his right hand over a low held left by Padilla Cruz.
Under 20 seconds to go. This is a 3-rounder. Again, 3 3-minute rounds. 1 minute rest period in between. Cruz Padilla trying to get through with the left jab, but unable to get through the defense.
It's a good defense, but he's got to do something with it. After making Cruz Padilla miss, he's got to counter.
So seconds tick away, and this one is a pretty close first round.
There's very little to choose from yet. Cruz Padilla on the attack, and Gary Griffin very tight in his defense.
Come up the middle with the right uppercut and then the left hook.
None of them scored when you were close. Okay? That's what he wants you to do, because he's trying to get you tired. Okay?
And part of that, Bert, is an attempt by boxing to take the scoring system and open it up so that it will not be suspect in any way, shape, or form. Because we all know that through the ages, boxing has had its questionable bouts.
Well, decisions being what they are subjective, and in my new book, The Ultimate Book of Boxing List, we go through some of the worst decisions in boxing kind. Yes, transparency is good. But sometimes you question what the judges are looking at.
This is round number 2 of this bronze medal 165-pound bout. Antonel Cruz Padilla in the red and Gary Griffin of the Air Force in the blue.
And it's all even now with a right hand by Griffin. And Cruz continues to try to get into that oyster with his punches, and it doesn't open. Look at Griffin, busier. And finally registering a point, at least in the eyes of the judge.
And that's because he stayed busy, got inside, and basically opened up that shell, if you will, that Cruz Padilla was trying to close.
Another right hand. He just leads with the right. He gets a warning for holding the head and hitting him behind it. Nonetheless, he landed the right. Judges or no judge.
Ooh, there's some of the quickness we saw as Gary Griffin came into the ring, but he did not get any scoring. Well, he gets one scoring blow.
And again, you score when the white part of the glove connects. And he got another one with that right hand. He is outsmarting Padilla Cruz. Again, he fights in spurts, but he picks his spurts. Not spots, spurts. Did you get that?
I got that. That was...
No, never mind.
Got it.
Another right hand. He just there's a Jersey Joe Walcott move in there. Move away and come in with a right hand. Something he knocked Joe Louis down with, just moving away and coming back with a right when the opponent is unsuspecting. And he did it again and picks up another point.
He does allow himself to go over against the ropes, though, before the referee brings him back out to the center of the ring.
But he didn't suffer any point loss on that, or a point gain for Padilla Cruz.
Which is good. And, of course, Bert, anytime you get your boxer over against the ropes, that's when you really want to inflict some damage. Under 15 seconds here to go in this round.
And it has been Gary Griffin, his round, the blue shirt, blue gloves. And you notice all of that activity gained Padilla Cruz nothing because of the defense of Griffin.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for round 3 of this 165-pound bout. It's a close one. Who will take home the bronze medal, Navy or the Air Force? Find out next on TPC Sports. Welcome back. It's Padilla versus Griffin in this last round of the 165-pound bronze medal bout. Well, let's get back to the action.
In between rounds, Padilla Cruz's corner told him he only scored 1 point in that last round. He has to stay further out. Don't smother your punches. But you'll notice he's still not using the jab. Everything is, he's trying to hurry up his attack on a very elusive and evasive Griffin. But he is not using a jab, and that's how you get inside. Look at that. He leads with a right. That was sort of a pawing jab, and that was a lead right. And he's going to leave himself open every time if he does that.
Yeah, and Bert, I'm not for sure if he scored any points in that last round. In all honesty, I do know this, though. He was admonished to go after Gary Griffin, and he has at least picked up his forward movement at this point in time, but unable to put any points
and it's not
on
effective.
The card.
It is not effective without that jab. He just walked in and stood there.
Now let's look at the counter. Let's look at Gary Griffin. Griffin is doing a nice job, really, of going left, going right. His movement around the ring makes him difficult to hit.
And not only that, he leads with a right hand, which is a no-no, but he's fast enough to get away with it. Yes, yes. There went a punch by Padilla Cruz. And another one.
And he's got him in the corner now.
And Griffin pushes him away.
But not before. Not before.
Another
Points are
point.
added. Yeah.
He's closed the gap. He's got a minute and a half to further close the gap.
Okay, if you're in Cruz Padilla's corner, what would you like to see him do right now?
More of the same, but let your hands go. You had him down there, swung twice, don't bend, they tell Griffin. Who bent out of the way, I don't know what that is, that's pity pat. And miss. He got another point, but so did Griffin. Griffin fighting southpaw.
He's got him in the corner now. Bert, if he can run up the points, that would be certainly to his advantage. But he comes out of that situation having no points added.
And he's throwing an uppercut from the third row, which is, again, another no-no. Technically, he is just street fighting. It's been quasi-effective in this round, but it's not technically good. Griffin is offering a very unorthodox moving target.
And a moving target, as we both know, is a difficult target to hit as we approach the 32nd point. 30 seconds remaining in this, the final round.
And again, a swing, a wild swing, and eating more time off the clock as he allows himself to be tied up.
This is for the bronze medal, middleweight, 165 pounds.
Griffin dancing around, leading with a right, eating up time, less than 10 seconds. And when he gets inside, he's smothered, and that's it. Griffin was able, by his movement, to keep the lead and keep basically the fight in his control.
It was almost as if he knew exactly where he was with regard to the score, knew what he had to do in order to preserve that victory and keep from getting hit, because he got on his wagon and basically started to try to pull away from the bout.
But De Cruz is a very good fighter if he picked up a jab when he moved in.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for both of your boxers. What a show. What a show.
As both boxers come to the center of the ring,
We do have a winner here tonight.
let's go back to Castle for the
And
official
he is,
call.
out of the blue corner, Gary Lee Griffin Jr.
And didn't he say he'd do anything he could to win? And he did.
That's what he said, and he didn't really have a particular style, but he adapted nicely. Let's see what he's got to say to Castle.
Padilla is a tough guy to get out of there. Were you trying to stop him, or were you content to win on points this evening?
I was trying to let what happened happens, man. This is the great thing about the amateurs. You lose one night and you come out and you win the next.
He outthought him. He outfought him and outthought him. So much of boxing is psychologically there, mentally there. Yes, it's physical skill too. But I would put to you 75% of boxing is here, not here.
Working smarter once again, not harder. Well, join us next time for more coverage of the 2011 Armed Forces Boxing Championship. I'm Van Stokes, and on behalf of Bert Sugar and all of us here at TPC Sports, thanks for joining us. See you next time.